Greetings, Granby, Zogling, Wigger, and Manzarass Clouds here. This is your former selected South Ward City Council quitter, Pastor Martin Mad Dog Lindstedt of the South Ward. Actually elected, not allowed to take a seat thanks to Crooked Ira and the rest of the Granby City Council quitters who wanted to go ahead and steal you and his slide there. So anyway, tonight it is the 18th of October, and right now it's about 10 minutes to 6. I got here about 10 minutes ago and seen Fat Lonnie coming out. And she decided to come out, She had her car parked right here in this parking spot here. So, why is, it looks like it's canceled. Yes, it's canceled. Why? Sickness. Well, the thing is that I have a cold. I don't doubt that more than likely a bunch went in, and I think I got this bug from last week's city council meeting. You know what I mean? Now, I'm in fairly good shape for someone who's nearly 65 years old, except for this left hip here. But yeah, I imagine a bunch of council critters. Well, hey, they're zoglings. They eat zogling food, and guess what? Of course, they're not feeling too good. So yeah, more than likely that whatever I came down with, probably they came down with. Is it just an ordinary cold? Well, yeah, more than likely. It might be. It might even be the zogling, Kremlin style flu here, which went ahead and took down Joanne Lamp and senile heifer Joyce Mann. More than likely, it is a variant of the Zog virus, Omega Zeta. Let's just call it that here. Because in many cases what's done is it is mutated, to where it's very contagious. But it is, it's as deadly as the common cold. So I am not as hoarse. I am not as hoarse or feeling as bad as I was yesterday. Yesterday I had to go into town. So I went into town again. I'll go ahead and ask what's been canceled here. What were these idiots going to go ahead and talk about? What they're talking about is deactivating an alleyway. And the alleyway, I don't know where it is here. Generally it's the same everywhere. Across these towns here. They used to have streets, and then cut in two, it'd be in a grid pattern. So in the middle you'd have an alleyway to take out mainly sanitation, as in garbage, and a few other things here in order to go ahead and get to the back. So what happens? They're going to de-annex or whatever. Yeah, the question is that, are they going to de-annex it in terms of, whether or not you let people park there or anything like that? And chances are no, because they'll want to go ahead and get there and prepare. Now, in Granby, most of Granby is laid out in squares. But right around Gravity Track Road, it's irregular. It's shaped as the mining road took it here. So Granby is sort of, Rabbit Track Road, Cobb Hill is sort of irregular. Very much irregular street here. So it doesn't really matter too much to me here. Second one is that they're going to go ahead and hire a new city lawyer, and they all want the business. See, what happens is Granby, just like all these towns, which have a pig department. Now the pig department was set up by Barry Flint because he wanted them to enforce his ordinances, keeping poor white people from buying a cheap trailer and thus not paying him rent for his trailer park here. I mean, pretty well, Granby government is just simply a scam. It's just simply a means to go ahead and steal from people. In fact, I had somebody come over and talk to me, and Martin, what about, but getting on that. So what they do is that they hire these pigs, and it's like a couple years ago here when T. Rampage Gamble was mayor here, and he ran out of beer. Goes ahead and makes him annoyed. So what does he do? He gets in, he's already had the 112 pack, he wants another. So he goes into his pick-em-up truck and drives up to Ramey's, which has a liquor license. And thus it's packaged, it's cheaper than at the packing mart or whatever. So he goes there. He gets all, well, I mean, usually, T. Rampage, he has two conditions, usually at the same time. Belligerent and stupid. Mainly, number one for T. Rampage is just stupid, mean, and belligerent. So, anyway, somebody use their cell phone. Calls the Granby Pig Life Department, and guess what? Old Jason Deno comes over here. He's sort of like Barney Fife, but more pussified. And so he says, well, what are you gonna do, Deno? And from what I gather, old T. Rampage said, yeah, what are you gonna do? Then I don't know what to do. I ought to go ahead and, have him arrested or write him a summons here and tell him to appear here. For obviously, he did get from his house, in North Granby over to, about, a half mile or more away. He took his own back. But if I write him a ticket, that wouldn't be a good career move. So what happens, Deno didn't go ahead and write a ticket. But everybody heard about it. Everybody thought it was hilarious. You know what I mean? Drunken, stupid, ignorant, T. Rampage Gamble, mayor of Granby, and one of his Granby pigs. Here's a big pussy. It was amusing. It was amusing as hell. I don't doubt that the story's true here. So the thing is that, guess what? Just sort of like Joyce Mann getting to put in a used double wide with all of what? Day and a half advance notice instead of 10 days, all the other good happy horse shit. And then me getting arrested here with the connivance of the city council for making fun of the crooked mayor here. And Crooked Ira and the rest here. So anyway, that's what Granby enforcement and that's what Granby law enforcement. It's just simply you go ahead and hire some scumbag lawyer, and what happens, the scumbag lawyer sometimes says what's good or bad, but in any case, well, hell, they'll do whatever the hell they want to do here. So like Diane Paragon, she went ahead and Here she is, writing, forcing a ticket for my arrest in August of 2019 for failure to obey a police officer. Well, what sort of law is that? You don't go ahead and just go ahead and just give a police, authority to go ahead and make up a law or say what he says is a law and then enforce it. But that's what Diane Paragon did. And now she's Lawrence County prostituter. I think someone ought to go ahead and complain that she goes ahead and has people prosecuted on the basis of so-called laws, which are not laws at all. Well, it's one thing for a shithole like Granby. But what happens is there's something, major in Lawrence County here. I mean, I was going ahead talking. That reminds me of another time here. Wait, while I was a kid here. Younger. Hello, Logan. Logan. I'm sitting in front of the city hall because they said they'd hold a city council meeting and they didn't. So right now I'm making a Mad Dog video right now. You're in it. Yeah, what happens is that I went Tuesday. Do I sound a little different to you? Well, what happens is that I went to city council meeting last week, and then I got gout, and now I had what happens past 3-4 days. I've had a cold here. You know what I mean? So, in any case, maybe I have just like about 25% of the common colds are caused by coronavirus from 1889. Well, maybe I have the 2022 Zog virus cold. You know what I mean? Zog virus cold. Where it's very catchy. Well, anyway, what else I went here again, and I'm 5 minutes late, because I decided to go ahead and, get a few mouthfuls here. And see Fat Lana coming out. Fat Lana comes out here. She comes out like a big fat scared rat here. She came up with, her and the rest of the city council had a domestic protection order out on me for 2 years, which Grizz Grinder Greggy Strammel and Kevin L. Selby, totally without jurisdiction, totally without any law to it here. You know what I mean? What happens is that lawyers not the way it was who are crooked, don't obey the law. Judges definitely are even worse shape here. But what happens is that she comes out and I'm standing at the front of the door, and that's where she got her big old SUV, parked here. And so, the equivalent of the equivalent of a industrial internal combustion plow horse to go ahead and take a fat pig. But anyway, she goes ahead and says, "Well, there's no being canceled." She said, "Yeah, yes, it is." I said, "Why?" Because of people being sick, and I think more than likely, whoever gave me the dog, the Zog 2022 cold here, probably gave the rest of the cards it too. I have it at home, but I'm not the big. I mean, what happens? I was coughing up, and I was coughing up worse yesterday here. Today it's about half as bad here. So in any case, yeah, I'm just sort of just sitting here and doing the Zogmeyer. So I said, what are you going to have next? You don't know. So pretty well, I'll just go ahead talking about the agenda for, the Granby, for the Granby thing here. But, no, I mean, what happens, they're talking about deleting an alley, and the reason they delete them is that shoot all over the Zogland, pretty well these cities are just not able to maintain, they're not even able to maintain the streets here, much less the alleys. And so, in any case.
Everything's falling apart.
Well, yeah, everything's falling apart.
They're giving all the illegals all our taxpayer money. They're giving Zelensky and Ukraine all our money. They already gave Afghanistan a bunch of our money. I mean, these damn guys, Joe Biden and his shoe buddies are just looting the damn government. I mean,
well, they're looting. The thing about it is that shoot, what happens? I haven't seen the price of gas go up for the last 2 weeks. So what they're doing is that Senile Joe's just pumping the shit out of Strategic Petroleum Reserve. You know what I mean? And what he's trying to do is he's trying to make sure. Oh, they're going to raise it up big time here. It's just the people begin to, they're already beginning to look here. I went into town yesterday to pick up my mail Monday night, and I don't know if you've seen the latest, Mad Dog Musings here with Bridget the Idiot. I mean, what happens, this bitch, she just, federal bitch, she just thinks, just like Brian Rio does, is that, hey, you want the white man's property, you get it. And pretty well, that's the whole idea of South Dakota. Let's see, I was thinking, how do you fight that? And the answer is that you fight it the same way it's always been fought. See, what happens is that they get more and more corrupt and powerful, and their pig gets so strong, but they're not strong. What happens is that everybody, except for a very few, are really hurting, and they're scared. And pretty well, the thing to do is do videos like this. I'm running as a write-in candidate, and pretty well just tell the ordinary person that's quite all right to go ahead. It's morally sound. In fact, you are giving in to Satan if you submit. But don't go ahead and say, I'm not going to serve, and get known. What you do is that you just go ahead and ambush the pigs here, and burn down their houses, and burn down a lot of their places here, to where there's just a big collapse going on, and it's okay to go ahead and round up the especially in South Dakota, of the judges and the lawyers and the cops. Totally vicious. What happens is that they sort of think is that the white man is supposed to go ahead and obey them here. That's why I keep on hearing, you got to go ahead. You can't say what you're saying here. So sure, you're dragging me in front of the Kangaroo Court, which has no jurisdiction. I mean, the court of Sodom and Gomorrah and the Earth Plains. At least they went out. They go out, a half day or so's journey, and go out and kidnap, in order to drag them in front of their courts to rob them and then murder them. Instead, you pretend that I am, a subject to Satan like you are, to where I go ahead and get whatever. And essentially, I don't have anything left here. But in the case of South Dakota, I don't have a bit of problem with making. Hell, every single judge, every single lawyer, every single cop, everyone who serves the state of South Dakota, well, hey, anybody who wants to can go ahead and, just go ahead and grab them and blind them and cast, pretty well make them eat their spawns and nuts here. You know what I mean? To where...
I think it's hilarious. I mean, it's so obvious now. Anywhere with half a brain, Kanye West can come out and say he wants to kill all the Jews, and nothing happens to him.
Well, something happened to him. I was reading on Daily Stormer where You know, I was reading on Daily Stormer where old Kanye had a few little called house Negroes, essentially little Uncle Toms and Stephen Fetchits here who were, bitch, are you getting laid out? But then, you know, then he was being bitched at by, there's this here.
Curtis and all the Hollywood Jews were saying, oh, it's so awful, he needs to get mental help. Now look, what I'm saying is, it was okay when Kanye was,
that the Jew owns everything. Well, what happens? Elon Musk went ahead and sort of, he's wanting to buy Twitter, and then old Kanye. From what I gather, he's a billionaire Negro here. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So maybe he can. Maybe I can go ahead and see if I can't get him to go ahead and give me a little bit of that Zog bucks here. You know what I mean? I've already got DEFCON 777 against Jews. But anyway, but no, I mean it's just sort of stupid cooking shit here. So anyway, I was talking about the current one, Diane Paragon. She's competent, but then again, every single Granby attorney is out to go ahead and do what I call squeeze the white trash. That's what municipal court's about here. It's about, Crooked Ire and the rest of these retards have the notion that they're going to polish a turd like Granby, and yes, we'll go ahead and get it real polished, so I can go ahead and move. Their ambition is to move to Neosho or Carthage or even Joplin. You know what I mean? Just go. And that's the way it's been ever since Granby got in. I mean, the people who did the hard work of digging for lead, and that lead would go ahead and get in the ground and get in the lungs and get everywhere. And you had to be in Granby, you had to be a tough person there. And what happens, the ones who got the money, who got the gold out of the lead, well, they all moved to Joplin. You know what I mean? So, but a few of them go ahead and live here. Granby is the richer part here, and most of the the miners, lived on the South Ward here, south of 60 here. But yeah, I mean, and the north side was where the smelter was here. But anyway, what they want to do is that Granby's mine shut down late 50s, early 60s, and shut down in late 50s, early 60s. Well, we have just a procession. Anyway, and so what happens is that what is just simply, rent a pig, and what happens, to pay for the pig, well, I know, we'll go ahead and screw with the poor population. And usually I'm the one who is I go ahead and fight back, and I have web pages. No, I just go ahead and fight back. But anyway, in one of them, I got arrested, August of 2019 for, Fat Walla wasn't there, so they couldn't go ahead and arrest me for, protection, for the bogus protection thing, and here's the guy who made the scam and the rest of it. What are you doing? in case, I'll probably go ahead and cut. But anyway, what happened, she got elected Lawrence County prosecutor. I was pointing out and said, hey, this crooked bitch is just simply dared to go ahead and try me for failure to obey a Granby police officer. Anyway. Alright, bye. Okay, this is my friend here. He's from Tennessee. Know about what's going on. But yeah, that's what you end up having. So now they're going to go ahead and hire a new lawyer. Essentially, a lawyer is a parasite, and essentially they're choosing which parasites to go ahead and essentially suck the blood. Take the money out, out of the mouths of people. Now, what happens? They don't usually do that over in other countries, and the reason for it is that, hey, they already have something called socialism, and what they do is that they pretty well you don't have that much money, and most of you ain't very rich here. They take about 90% of what you have, and they give you back 10% to spend as you wish here, in your trappings or whatever. But here in this country, they pretend that they have freedom. So pretty well there, which parasite to go ahead and choose is about what it boils down to. The second one was department heads reports. Now, they didn't dick with that shit until 7 years ago when Rampage Gamble wanted an excuse to get rid of Kevin Johnson because Kevin Johnson wanted to kiss his ass. So what they did is they came up with some internet bullshit. And he couldn't really get rid of Kevin Johnson, but we just gave him a hard time. Same way with Sharon Stevenson for city collector. What happened is those were independent offices. If I'd been T. Rampage Gamble, I'd just say, hey, look, T. Rampage, you can go ahead and suck my dick here. Hey, here, let me just whip it out here. You can pretend, especially, before you get to your last can of, 12-pack of Milwaukee's Best here, where you turn mean, you go ahead and pretend it's Milwaukee's Worst here. But, no, what happens though is the Granby Cards went ahead and elected to go ahead and do away with the elected, city collector, which was stupid. What they do is they got now $12 hireling who they tell what to do. They don't have any control, over whatever the crooked mayor does or whatever. They don't have any control. They just go ahead and buy a auditor here. They do whatever, and they do like they do Purcell, and you end up having, Granby water falling apart. It doesn't really matter. You go ahead and give them a real good system here. If it's not maintained or kept up here, it's going to fall apart sooner or later. So, no. That's what they're trying to do here. They're going through the motions. So, anyway, as far as department head reports here, I know, for Jim Channel. Jim Channel, he was just, he knew, one had, Floyd Lamp, he chased you with a chainsaw, you ran like a pussy here. Well, I don't know. I wouldn't recommend that anybody just stay put and allow a retarded maniac with a chainsaw to cut you to pieces here. You know what I mean? answer, of course, is that I had a lot more important people to shoot than Floyd I mean, he was eminently shootable, worthless bastard. Roxy's, idiotic older brother. But nope. Anyway, I'm a good Rick. Just make him Granby official porn connoisseur. What happens is that go ahead and give him the city of Granby account. And so he can get on Adult Friend Finder. I mean, that would be part of his departmental duties. I mean, it isn't like he's not doing it now. I mean, why should he be paid for it? It ain't like he's going to go ahead and fix the sewer pipes and the water pipes. The Pornhub coordinator. Anyway, I don't know. I've been sitting here for a while. I think this is enough of, tonight's Mad Dog Musings. It is what, 6:20. It's going to be dark. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and I think this will be it for Mad Dog's Musings. Granby City Council Critter Special Report Edition. Tardfest. Whatever. So anyway, until then, it's Pastor Martin, Mad Dog Lindstedt. And I'm running as a write-in candidate for United States Senator. And hopefully you'll go ahead and send me a few Zog bucks either to 338 Rabbit Track Road or P.O. Box 666. I'm going to go ahead and check it here in a minute. P.O. Box 666, Granby, Granby, Missouri, 64804. So until later. Busy tonight.